Hey, what's up, you guys? My name is Killer J. This seat is fucking crooked. I look like I'm fucking. Oh, I broke it. Hey, what's up, you guys? My name is Killer J. Y'all can call me KJ. Welcome back to another video. And I love internet lore and history, specifically horror. Internet lore and history is one of my favorite topics. Like, I grew up in the age where this had its peak. And a while ago, I made a video talking about like some internet lore, specifically talking about like cursed videos from the internet and from like back in the day. And in that video, we briefly talked about creepypastas and SCP, or the SCP Foundation. And those are one of the most well-known like internet topics slash universes from like way back in the day that people still talk about, and there's still videos coming out till this day. And since I had so much fun researching and making that video, I decided to do it again, and I let you guys pick which of the topics I was going to use for this video, like which of the internet lore topics I was going to use. Option 1 was the SCP Foundation, and option 2 was a more modern topic, that being the backrooms. So I asked you guys on social media which one of them you wanted me to talk first, and by 1 or 2 votes, the backrooms won, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. But fair warning, since this is a vast like shared universe that people keep adding lore and topics and taking out stuff like almost every day, there might be some inconsistency with some of the things that I research. So just bear with me, okay? It's something that changes almost every day. But before we start, I do have to plug myself in, guys. Follow me on all social media. Follow me also on Twitch, twitch.tv/KillerJ. I'm normally there live about 2 or 3 times a week, just hanging out with you guys and playing some video games. So make sure you follow me there. All the links are going to be in the description down below.
I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy. I've got the look that drives you go wild. I've got the move that really moves. How you doing?
So what are the backrooms? Like, what specifically is the backrooms? There's so many ways that we can define what the backrooms are, but let me give you my own definition from all the research that me and ChatGPT did. The backrooms in The backrooms in fiction are subliminal spaces fucking. I sound like Jojo Siwa. Have you seen that clip? Fucking. The backrooms in fiction are basically these realms that exist outside our normal world that is often referred to as the front room. And one can enter the backrooms by simply no-clipping into them by accident or through some glitch in our reality. And I want to talk briefly about no-clipping and subliminal spaces and give you guys like a small definition of what they are. A subliminal space is an area where you get like an almost dreamlike nostalgic feeling when you see it. It's almost like a deja vu type of feeling. They can also feel like spaces that you actually been in but don't recognize right off the bat. Places that feel familiar but not exactly how you remember them. A perfect example was if you ever got dropped off at school very early in the morning when no teachers or no students were there, and it was just like a very cold kind of like morning. That's almost like what subliminal spaces feel like. Or if you ever worked security at a mall or been late to a mall when it's closed and no one's there, it's places that you expect for them to look a certain way, but they quite just, you know, don't look like that. You know, like malls are supposed to be full of people, and a closed mall at night kind of feels different because you've been there, but have you actually like been there, if you know what I mean? And no clipping, if you're a video game fan or if you're not, is basically when you glitch out of a certain area of the map that you're not supposed to be in, either through some glitch or some movements. You basically like break the boundary of where the developers wanted you to be in, and you jump out of the map. Often you just fall or just get stuck in a corner where there's nothing in there, and that's what no clipping is.
Use the hammer on the door in the corner.
Oh! Wait, did I just... Oh my god! What the fuck was this? Did I just spell to my death? Is basically breaking a game's reality. And the backrooms is basically defined as something that you would not abnormally see in our reality, or something that you would not normally do in our reality. Like, for example, you may see a brand new door in an abandoned building and it's something that shouldn't be there, but it's there, and then you walk through it and you fall into the back rooms. You find a staircase in the middle of the forest, something that shouldn't be there, and you walk up the forest, you fall up the stairs, and you fall into the back room. You can be weird and put your milk before your fucking cereals, take a bite boom, you fucking fell into the backrooms. And once you're in the backrooms, the only thing that you can do is move forward and try to find your way out. And as you're trying to find your way out and exploring the backrooms, you'll come across what are different levels, which are different areas in the backrooms, like reality universe, that have their own separate properties and like way of actually like existing, or like reality in them. They're like their own separate realms within the universe of no clipping reality backroom shit. There's also like entities and unique creatures to each of these levels that can be deadly, or can be just annoying, or can be very fucking dangerous. There's also food items like almond water and liquid pain, which is like something that automatically gives you like extreme amount of pain by the name, if you can define it like that. It's almost like this universe that was created into a awesome dreamlike subliminal video game. But I would be hours here sitting if I took the time to talk about every single details of the backrooms. So with that little brief history that I just gave you, I narrowed it down to 5 levels that I would hate to be caught in if I ever entered the backrooms or no clipped into them. So let's start off. These are 5 levels from the backrooms that I would hate to be in. Number 5, level 39, the true ending. You guys remember when I said that there's little to no X's in the actual backrooms? Like there's probably 5 ways to get out of them. Well, this is one of them. But don't get too excited, because there's a reason why it's on this list. This level resembles a late 80s abandoned arcade with functioning arcade machines. The only problem is these machines are not playing Pac-Man, they're not playing Mortal Kombat, they're not playing Mario Kart. They can range from playing modern games that shouldn't be in arcade machines to personal games about your own life and gruesome, grotesque, violent games that shouldn't even exist. And I know you're probably asking, hey, KJ, it's just an arcade with some violent games. Why is it so scary? And the first thing I gotta tell you is why you interrupted me. Secondly, there is a way to get out of the backrooms through this level, but in order for you to find the exit, it could take you up to 5 minutes or 20 to 30 years. See, the way you find the exit to the backrooms on this level is you're given a list of tasks that is given to you upon entering. These could be as simple as beating a high score in a video game to eating a certain amount of food that is in the level that's edible. They could be a little bit harder, like defeating an entity that is summoned into this level so you can fight it. Or it could be very personal things like kill something that resembles your mother. It can also be tasks that could take up to like years and months, like, I don't know, lose 100 pounds or gain 20 pounds of muscles, or age up to age 75 and then you'll get out. Or as dumb as write one word 10 million times. It doesn't matter what task it is, you need to finish them, because if you don't finish them, here comes the second part, you will perish or go inside of the void. So, moving on to number 4, level 18. Stop for a moment and imagine if you woke up in your childhood bedroom. You could feel, you could hear, you could smell the same things that you did when you were a child. Imagine if you get that nostalgic feeling from watching an old cartoon or listening to that jingle from that commercial back in 1990 something.
Hey kids, follow the bouncing plate. Oink, oink, zoo pals. Buzz, buzz, zoo pals. Quack, quack, zoo pals. Zoo pals make eating fun.
And you get that weird, tingly, nostalgic, almost emotional feeling that you normally get when you feel like this. Imagine if those feelings slowly start turning into more traumatic, anxiety, panic-inducing feelings. Imagine if watching that commercial started building up more anxiety instead of building that happy, dreamlike feeling that you always get from it. That is what level 18 does to you slowly. It takes your best moments in your life, your most nostalgic, most emotion, innocent-filled moments. It makes you remember them, and then it turns them into traumatic, horrible events. This level basically manifests itself like a dreamlike play area where you grew up in, like either your garage or your own room when you were 5 years old, and you're surrounded by many things that you remember, like your toys, TVs, and in some cases even mimics like your parents or friends that would come in and, you know, be there but not actually be there. And then slowly all these images start warping into darker, destructive, violent images that you kind of remember but you really don't, and then it just takes you down this road of just taking every single moment of your life and turning it into something very dark that you don't even want to remember.
Hey kids! Follow the bouncing plate! Tweet, tweet, soup pals. Neigh, neigh, soup pals. Meow, meow, soup pals. Soup pals make getting fun. No.
Even some things that you never remember actually doing when you were a child or when you were a little bit younger. And for some reason, let's say you're strong enough to get through these images and then fight through because you're mentally strong. There's an entity here called 18.1 that's basically made out of all those memories that never got anywhere to go because the person got unalive, and it's something that will chase you down and basically unalive you while you're in this level, but in a way that not that many people in the lore have been able to explain. Okay, moving on to number 3, and this one's very personal. Level 7, better known as level Thalassophobia. And what is Thalassophobia? I've explained to you guys this before many times. Thalassophobia, it is the fear of large and deep dark bodies of water. As a sufferer from this phobia, I can say that me and the ocean don't get along. I mean, don't get me wrong, I am Puerto Rican, I am an island boy.
I'm a just island boy. I'm a just island boy.
I love going to the beach, I love going to pools, I love swimming, I like body surfing, but you know, if something touches me or you know, I get way too deep in the waters, you know, I would just... Anyways, this level is a personal hell to me. This level has 2 rooms or like 2 areas. One is like a lobby area that has water up to like your ankles with a big hole in the middle. And the second one is inside of that hole that has a gravitational pull that's constantly pulling you down. And inside of that hole, there's an endless ocean with a couple of islands in it. Not only are there like a couple islands, it's dark, it's deep, and it's pulling you down because for some reason gravity works differently in this level. But luckily, you can breathe underwater in this level. Unluckily, the only way to get out of this level is down into the deep, dark water where you will go through different sections and segments of like little sub levels where there will be bodies or living plants or bodies of anomalies that are in there and creatures and entities. It's a whole just thalassophobia nightmare. And that little journey down into the depths of the water is about 4.35 miles deep, or 7 kilometers to anybody that's not in America. And right at that 7-kilometer mark, there will be a small entrance to an underwater cave that you need to get into in order to exit this level. And if that wasn't enough, there's one entity in this level called the Thing from level 7. And supposedly, it's a sea-like creature that once it spots you, it won't stop coming for you. It won't stop coming for you? Oh my god. By the way, I said sea-like creature because no one has actually seen it up close. They just know that it looks almost like a fish because no one has survived being that close to the creature. So imagine having to swim for about 3 hours, and then out of nowhere this thing just spots you and you're fucked. Like, that's it. You have to swim till you get out, or this thing will, I don't know, fucking eat your asshole or something like that.
Keep on talking like that, I'm gonna eat your asshole.
My own personal hell, to be honest. And speaking of personal hell, let's go to number 2. Level 666. So what can you expect if you enter a Backrooms level numbered after the mark of the beast? Well, you can expect your own personal hell. This level appears to be a hellish maze that you need to get through. And within said maze, you will face all your fears. Small minor fears like spiders, and deep more internal fears that you have locked up inside of you. And the reason why I find this level scary is how personal it can actually get. Imagine if you're stuck in a place where reality is not real. And this labyrinth that you're stuck in can take your biggest fears and make them real, even if those fears are impossible. This level will make them possible. Fun fact, you know you've entered this level when you come across a sign that says, "Welcome to Hell." The creepiest part is, depending on who enters this level, the sign will be in different places. It could be like a restaurant sign or a billboard or a couple magnetic letters on a fridge, and that's the door to go inside of the labyrinth. And just like every other Backrooms levels, there's a lot of questions and concerns on how the actual level works. Like if you're going alone to this level or you're going with a group of people. And I know you guys have all those questions, but they're probably already written and answered in Reddit or some, wiki that you can find the lore in. Just Google Backrooms or just use ChatGPT, I don't know. Or just write it down below and I'll try to answer it as best as I can. I'm going to be leaving a couple links down below to a couple like YouTube Backrooms creators. And if you guys want to subscribe and go see them, they talk in a lot of details about these Backrooms levels and all the possibilities and all the things that actually are official to the lore. But going back to level 666, it's basically like the labyrinth from Hellraiser. If you guys seen that movie, at the end they go to like this hell area, but it looks like a labyrinth. It's literally like that. And the only way out of this level is through one of the many X's that you can find at the end of the level, or through facing every single one of your fears head on. And after doing that, you'll be teleported to a brand new level. And finally, my number one pick for Backrooms levels that I would not like to be caught in. Level 0. And I get it, it's a cop-out to go for like the OG level of the Backrooms, but hear me out. I've done over a month of research into this lore, through Reddit, through ChatGPT, through YouTube videos and YouTube channels. And I've learned so much, I've read so many crazy things and levels and theories about the Backrooms that just knowing that I be in the Backrooms, it's crazy enough to me. And something that always comes up when talking about the Backrooms is you always start off on level 0. Most of the people know what level 0 is basically this office-like area that has these hallways and walls that are just covered in this disgusting, ugly looking yellow wallpaper, and these carpets that are set to be like wet but not like completely like soaked, and these neon lights that just supposedly buzz ever so silently that you can't hear it unless they're turned off or you go to a different level. It's crazy how simple and so detailed this dreamscape can be, that once you're in it, you're like, as I was researching, I came across a lot of people that would do like CGI or animation style videos of the Backrooms, and I have to highlight this. It is going to be the first link in the description. I came across this little 30-minute short film called Backrooms 2003, and it's just like level 0, but it's so detailed that you get to a point, if you're watching it, you're like, Jesus, this place just makes me feel so uneasy. And that's what makes level 0 so scary and so stressful to me, because of all the lore that came afterwards. Back when it was just one room, no entities, no pool rooms, no level run, just yellow fluorescent lights in an endless maze of just reality bending craziness that was the original level 0. And just the fact that I would know where I am would just drive me insane. Anyways, guys, that's about it. I hope you liked the video. Comment down below your top 5 levels that you would hate to be in. Follow me on all social media. I gotta go because I gotta hang some clothing and I gotta take this cap off and clean all this shit. So thank you so much. Use your fucking turn signals. Please subscribe, like if you liked it. Bye.